Built sometime before 1812, this small, three-story building at 326 Spring Street houses some of the most notable living history left in New York City. You see, much of our past, the past that has to do with what really shaped our nation, our neighborhood bars, has faded away.
We've tried our best to preserve them through these programs, but 326 Spring Street, also known as the James Brown House, is living, breathing history, a sublime combination of our past and our present. We're at the Ear Inn, resident of the ground floor of the James Brown House and watering hole to the waterfront of Lower Manhattan. Once a pretty sordid area, the Ear Inn now sits just off the intersection of Greenwich and Spring. Not quite SOHO, but still finding itself trendy.
Though crowded and busy, as it normally is on Friday nights, bartender Gary Collar was nice enough to take a break and tell us about the history of the bar and the building that houses it.
Built 1817, and it was reportedly owned by an aide to Washington by the name of James Brown. He's in that. He's one of the black guy in a very famous photograph of him crossing the Delaware.
Gary's talking about this painting, one of the most famous paintings of George Washington. It was done by the 19th century artist Emmanuel Lutz, and it's of Washington crossing the Delaware and was painted in 1851.
In front of the boat, next to Washington, is painted an African-American soldier. Now legend contends that this is James Brown, a Revolutionary War veteran and reportedly an aide to General Washington. Both his existence in the painting and the legend that he was an aide to Washington are speculation.
But what we do know is that there was a Revolutionary War vet by the name of James Brown who built this building in 1817. He opened up first a tobacco shop and was apparently very successful at it. In 1833 he sold the building, which was only about 5 feet from the Hudson at the time. He sold it to Thomas Cloak, who opened a bar on the ground floor. There's been a bar here ever since, which makes the Ear Inn perhaps the second oldest continuously serving establishment in New York, second only to the Bridge Cafe.
Naturally, because of its proximity to the water, its history includes selling liquor and alcohol to nearby passing ships and sailors. It was a pretty rough area, serving both river pirates and the immigrant gangs of New York, and there was even a brothel upstairs at one point.
Part of its legacy is seen above the bar in the many large bottles and containers used to store liquor and beer on ships. These bottles and the artifacts displayed on the second floor were found in the basement of the building, and some of them date back to the 1700s. Gary took us on a quick tour of the top floors of the James Brown House, and it's amazingly well preserved. It's got original plank flooring and fireplaces. You really get a sense of what it may have been like so long ago.
Like historically speaking, do you know what these rooms were devoted to?
Brothel. These were brothel rooms.
Were they really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the brothels, huh?
Yeah, these are the ones there. Look at a bit of action going. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's also reported to be haunted upstairs, so we tried our best to channel Zach and Nick from Ghost Adventures.
This is where the ghost likes to hang out most of all.
As usual, though, we didn't see shit. Oh well, maybe next time, guys. This place has got a long, continuous legacy. During Prohibition, the bar was even a speakeasy, with liquor and beer sold out of the second floor.
But in the 1970s, the building, by that time a historical landmark, was purchased, and in 1977, Gary's family reopened the bar. But because of landmark restrictions, they couldn't put up a sign, so they got creative.
It's listed a landmark building, so therefore you're not allowed to touch the front of it, obviously. And there used to be a magazine upstairs called the Ear Inn, and what he did was come up with a brilliant idea of painting the B, making it into an E, and there we have our ear without touching the front of the building.
That actually mess with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So that works that way.
The Ear Inn, and not just the building, has become a landmark in its own right, and a beloved spot that stays crowded most every night by a variety of visitors.
It's a very neighbourhood crowd. A lot of people have been coming here since before I even got here, and I've known them that long. They're still here. Quite a few of them have passed,
right.
as they do. But
and it's a local crowd that is serious about the bar as a bar. No loud music, no cell phones, just atmosphere.
I noticed you had one TV and the volume was all the way down.
Yeah, we actually have two. There's one above your head. Yeah, we have two, but yeah, we don't put our volume up. It's like for visuals only.
So it's more for talking and hanging out.
Exactly.
They also serve a short menu of bar and local cuisine.
You serve food?
We do. Our food is very good food actually, and it ranges from appetizers are like from $6 to $8, and Our main courses would be from anywhere from 10 to 12, and I think we went up to 14 recently, which is like, it's very basic food.
We wouldn't call it basic though. We tried the smoked trout, the chicken pie, the steamed mussels, and the shrimp salad. All highly recommended and perfectly combined with their ear-in ale.
What's the ear-in ale? Where do you get that from?
That's made by Brooklyn. Brooklyn Brewery make that for us. Steve Finley's very good friends with my uncle, and them two guys come up with it and
So they have their own recipe just for you?
Yeah, just for there. We're the only ones that have it. So.
And what about sweet foo-foo signature drinks?
Is there a signature drink that we've got to get when we get here?
A pint of Guinness and a shot of Jameson.
He wasn't kidding either. Gary takes this stuff seriously.
Cilantro. Good luck with Today, the small bar, with walls lined with decades worth of decor, is crowded just about every night of the week, with people from every walk of life.
With all its history, notoriety, and infamy, this place is just really, really cool. It's kind of like that old guy that just keeps hanging out at parties. At first he's kind of weird and creepy, but before long, the draw of his thousands of old stories and memories of debauchery become endearing, and before you know it, the old guy's the hip one in the room.
The ear-in is like that, maybe without the creepiness though. It's taken its knocks over the years and served its time serving some of the most undesirable of the city. Now, it's trendy, and it deserves to be trendy.
The only hope is that it stays trendy and stays open for a long, long time.